You know what I mean?
Welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, and with me today, of course, is Katie. How are you doing, Katie?
Doing very well.
Look very lovely today with the. What do you call that hat? What's the hat called?
I'm not sure because it's not necessarily a Panama hat. I don't know. It's just a hat. I'm going to a baseball game after this, so.
Well, it's adorable.
Thanks.
Well, you can pull it off. If I wore that, I would look like I don't know, like a 1950s huckster or something. I'm not sure.
I love those old-timey hats, though.
Oh, yeah, they're great. Kyle can't be here today. Literally just moments before we started recording, a family emergency or some sort of a unforeseen event. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. I don't know if it's an emergency, but an unforeseen event where he was tasked out of his home. He had to leave his home at the drop of a dime. Maybe he's a superhero. I'm not sure. But he had to leave the house on short notice. He offers his apologies. The show must go on. He said it's fine. Can't be here today, but we do have a few people in our Discord, which is really, really great. So let me just plug it right now. So check out our show notes on every episode. So if you're watching this if you're even on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, whatever app you use to watch or listen to our show, I always put in the show description our Discord link, our Patreon link, our socials link, so you can follow us on everything. And the reason why I like to plug those things is because if you want to connect with the show, connect with me, Katie, and Kyle while we record live, well, Discord's the place to do it because you can literally watch us live and you can see all the things that don't make it on the show, things like technical issues before the show. You get to see it all, and it's really cool that the listeners are very patient and kind to us. We appreciate that. We have some new faces in our Discord today, such as Shotgun Aces is the name they go by in our chat, and Dan.
Cool.
Now, Dan is a new Patreon as well, so we thank him. Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. Love it.
Well, Dan, he was what he did is he went back and literally binged. I don't know when he started listening to the podcast, but he binged Going the Distance. So he went back and he's a purist like me. He's a man after my own heart. I'm the same way. So he went back and listened to Going the Distance. He wanted to get the prequel show in before he did the current show, I guess you could say. I don't think he's caught up on One More Round, but he's here for the live recording for episode 15, so we appreciate that. Oh, April 2020 he started. Yeah, it takes a while. There's like 300 episodes of Going the Distance, I think, or something.
And you must not be a junkie like I am. I joke now with Ryan that he has made me a junkie of podcasts because I can't do literally anything without something in my ear.
I know it's ridiculous. It is so. I literally wake up, and when I go get my coffee, and like I've got a pocket. I can't.
Same.
I can't walk around the house, do a chore, tie up my shoes. I'll walk to the car.
Same. And then if I leave and go to the car, because I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to listen to music in the car. But then I'm like, oh my God, I have to stop the podcast I'm listening to and listen to the rest later. What?
I get bored. I think it's also as we get older. Like, I love music, don't get me wrong, but I find I just want to learn and listen and hear ideas and thoughts. And so I get more excited by free thought and free speech and ideas and the marketplace of ideas and commentary and opinion. I find that more engaging for my soul, my brain now than it maybe as a teenager listening to music. So I love music, and I just think I would love a concert more than listen to my car at this point. I'd go listen to a concert experience more than listen to anything else. So. Yeah, anyways, that's where I am. We appreciate everyone that's joined us. We got Louise here, Donald, of course, and we did have a couple others, but I think they dropped out during our technical difficulties. But they're
no, I feel so bad.
No, don't. They pop in and out. People are just curious. They listen to the show. It doesn't matter. They listen to the podcast, whether it's now or later. So, and some people listen to both. Some people listen to this, and then they listen to the edited version again, or watch it on YouTube. And again, I can't stress enough if you're missing this live in Discord, you kind of get to see what we do in Discord on YouTube. So check out the link on every show note of the YouTube link, or just Google One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast on YouTube, and you get to see the watch along that we do. Okay. Did you get those emails, Katie, that I sent you?
I do see a couple of emails.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's do some emails. And by the way, Donald's our most faithful Discord member. He's the biggest supporter of our Discord. We appreciate him. So Donald, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to have you go by the honor system, and I'll believe you. Do you want to play for Kyle's trivia? So there you go. Yeah. So Donald, I'm sure. Yeah. So I'm sure.
Okay.
So don't answer in the Discord. We'll just, when we bring up the answers, you'll put in your answer. Okay, and we trust you. I know you'll tell the truth. So okay, and it's actually I read the questions. Not an easy week, and I think Kyle's gonna be really mad that he missed this one. So okay. So
Crap.
Donald might win for him because I don't. So what's our emails? What do we got here?
We have a Samaritan review. Oh, before I read this though, did we already talk about this? Did you give yours, Ryan, or you're doing a separate?
We've recorded it, but we can be free about it now because I've recorded it. It's just not edited or released. But yes, Doug and Craig and myself, we did a Samaritan review, and that episode will be coming out. So stand by for that on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast feed. That's where you'll see it under the Stallone Podcast Network show. Yes, so the Samaritan review is coming. But I don't want to say much more about it, but go ahead and read the email from Donald. Sure. And have you seen it?
I have, yes.
Okay, so read the email from Donald, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, so Samaritan review. Dear Ryan, Kyle, and Katie, can't wait to hear your thoughts on Sly's newest VOD film, Samaritan. By the time this episode airs, the movie will have been out for a while. Live chat Discord listeners may want to disconnect for a few minutes. Yeah, like if you haven't seen it Personally, I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I liked Sly's performance and the chemistry he had with the kid. I also enjoyed the film's comedy. Unfortunately, Samaritan is also dependent on its audience's deductive skills or lack thereof. If you can't successfully guess where the plot's going, then you might love this movie instead of just like it. Questionable writing and editing had me cracking the case like Sherlock Holmes, though, which brought the film down a few pegs. Samaritan had some good original ideas, but in my opinion, they were poorly executed. Donald.
Wow, he said it better in his email than I said on my hour-long review.
So I feel like I'm a better communicator in writing than I am just like off the cuff, obviously. So I agree. I mean, I haven't heard yours yet, Ryan, but I agree that Donald's, and it was a nice, concise review. So, but agreed. I feel similar. I guess my thoughts are it was very enjoyable. I mean, it was fun. My bar for it was pretty low. It surprised me in a good way. I do not generally like kids I just don't think they're funny if they're the main part of a movie, it's not usually my cup of tea. But I did think this kid was not annoying. I liked his banter. Joe, who is Sly / Samaritan / Nemesis. Right. And then the kid, Sam. So I really liked their banter and, like Donald said, their chemistry. I also really liked that Sly treated him like an adult. Like he didn't treat him like a kid or talk to him like a kid. So I really liked that. The mom, I loved Dasha Polanco.
I forget the real name, the actress's real name?
Yeah, it's the actress's name who played the mom. And people will recognize her from Orange is the New Black. Daya from Orange is the New Black. So I thought she did a good job. It was nice to see her in another role. So they had the best, I don't know if you guys would agree. I think that, what was his name? Cyrus? Mm-hmm. Cyrus, the bad guy. Did anybody else get major Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys?
I never made that connection, but I see it, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's totally Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys. Sly, I thought, looked great in it. Mm-hmm. I did think the kid looked like he was like, I'm not very good at gauging age, but I'm like, he's 13. He looks like he's like 8. But again, not nobody else, just me. I don't have kids, so I'm not very good at gauging.
No, you're right. He did look younger than 13. He is like 13 in real life, I think, during the film of the movie. So he just might be one of those kids who just I have a son who is like that. He looks much younger than he is because he actually has a kidney disorder. So I don't think he's aged as quickly as his peers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, that will hopefully work out well for him when he's older.
Yeah, sure. That's just it. Yeah. I mean, he's 15 now. It's 16 next month, and he's almost as tall as Becky, his mom. So he's definitely growing now. But for many years, he was always looked much younger. Like when he was 10, he looked like he was 7 type thing, 6. It was
Yeah. I mean, and that's just it. Like kids, you never know their age range. I think that there was some very typical beats. The single mother raising the kid, like he's kind of on his own, and then this like father figure. He hangs with this like mysterious older man. All very similar, but it was still nice. Like I very much liked it. I also think that we could rename the movie Over the Top Superhero Edition.
Hit a lot of the same beats. Again, my hour-long review Doug and Craig. I
Okay.
think we maybe not dragged it out, but we we try to make a long show for the
Yeah.
review. But I think between your email, Donald's email and your review, we're hitting a lot of the same beats. We mentioned over the top. I don't want to give away a lot of the jokes or the bits. Save people to listen to the episode.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Well, Luis said that he listened to our review in Discord, so he listened to it live while he was grocery shopping. He kept laughing out loud.
Fun.
So I appreciate that. We took the mick out of it a little bit. Now I'll leave that as a tease. So stand by for that
I'm
release,
really
guys.
excited to hear.
Yeah.
Really excited to hear. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, even the face he makes, like when he squeezing the knife, like bending the knife, it's like the over the top face. I just loved it. It was because I love that movie. I know you're not a fan, but
No, I'm not. I
fan
think it's a
over
horrible
here.
film. I think it's absolutely
Well, of
horrible.
course it is, but it's
No, but I don't think
Candy.
I don't think it's ironically horrible. But go ahead and listen to my review of Over the Top on the Last of the Action Heroes feed too, because you'll hear my thoughts on that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the twist. I thought it was good. I mean, the movie was good. I would probably give it 3.5 or 4 out of 5, just
wow.
because it exceeded my expectations. I do not like Marvel movies, superhero movies
that's right.
at all, and so I liked this because it was a little more. I don't know, because there were a lot of things that brought me back to the '80s in it. Like I said, the Kiefer Sutherland, the over the top, the similar beats. It was just enjoyable. I mean, you don't have to think watching it. So it's just,
Yeah, and I don't mean for you to defend your enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
I'll give this teaser. My expectations were low, and they were met. So
Oh, you were harsher than me. I was like, oh, it's sweet. It's, I don't know. The
But I
good
am-
and the bad in
yeah.
all of us.
I think at the end of the day, I think it's just something like it's not a turkey. It's not even it's better than Over the Top, but there's some similarities, and I think a better title name for the film should have been Over the Unbreakable or Unbreakable the Top or something, because it's very familiar.
Oh,
with
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't give it 4 out of 5. I mean, of all movies,
Oh,
I would
no,
probably agree
no.
with Donald, but
I think both of you are fair. It's fun. It's easy. It's not a hard watch. It's interesting at the very least to watch Sly in a recent film, something that's recent. It's a good quality filming. Like it looks like a film. So yeah, all in all, but it looks like a streaming film. I should say it does look like it belongs.
it
on
does.
streaming.
Yeah. I mean, and there are a lot of things totally out of place. Like it did most things didn't make sense. Like I was like, did they not? Because like towards the end when he's like, oh, what do you think, when Cyrus is like, what do you think now of your hero? And it's like, but you now know that this is like Cyrus, this is Nemesis. Why are you saying, what do you think of your hero? This is your hero. I just like that end of it I was like, this doesn't make sense given your little plot twist that you created, so to speak. I don't know. And like the quirks, he had some cute little character quirks, and I don't know. It was cute.
Good.
Cute. I thought it was cute.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. So that was. Oh, you get one more email. Sorry, and then we got the Rocky.
That's
trivia.
true. Yes.
Okay.
Oh gosh, for trivia. I forgot about trivia. And you said it's hard this week. Eek. Okay, so we now have one from Doug, subject line Rocky's Run. He says, I have one quick note regarding Rocky's run up the steps. The first one, where it appears to be an agonizing trip up the steps, was filmed about an hour before his triumphant run during Gonna Fly Now. They waited a bit for the sun to rise before shooting the second run. It's amazing the way Stallone played the 2 runs differently. Love always, Doug. That is interesting. Obviously, it makes sense that they would shoot them consecutively. That's awesome. He is a good actor. I still just like I went to dinner with friends last night, and obviously came up because for a number of reasons. So many people don't know about his facial paralysis, and so I'm always like coming to his rescue, so to speak.
Sure.
And people are like, oh, really? And they're like, they legitimately don't know. They're like, is he a smart person or?
Yeah, that's
and I'm
weird.
yeah.
I think because he just plays a punchy character, and then a silent character in Rambo, where people just think, is this guy? No, he's highly intelligent, but he's very articulate, and obviously we don't say that to our listeners, but yeah. All right, thank you, Doug. That's of course Doug from Rocky Minute. We appreciate his love and support of the show, and he just messaged me and said, "Say hi to you, Katie." By the way, so
Oh, well, hello, Doug.
yeah. Have you guys met on camera yet? Have we had this discussion?
No, remember we talked about that?
That's crazy. We're going to get
I
that.
know.
We're going to rectify that. We'll do something. We'll do a project where we'll get you and him together. Okay. Yeah, I've always imagined me, you, and Doug in a threesome, so that'd be perfect. Okay. So. All right.
Oh my God. Sorry. Because I was with friends at dinner and we had several glasses of wine, even though I wouldn't have needed the several glasses of wine to have these takes, but everybody thinks that, at least people in our general age group, we think of Rocky Four. We're talking about obviously Sly and Dolph. They're like, oh, that's so weird because they're like, you usually like dark features and stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
I know he's the outlier. However, he's like biologically, I am supposed to want that man. Like
Right.
he is like the ultimate specimen of a human male. I mean, and they were like, oh my god, like who would you choose? And I'm like, now or then? They're like, I don't know, either. And I can't choose. I need both. I'm like, I want to say Sly, but damn, Dolph's. Yeah, I want to say Sly. I said Sly back then, Dolph now.
Sure. There you have it, folks. I just want to say, am I allowed to say hi to Kim? Can I say hi to Kim?
Yes. I mean, yeah. And I
Okay.
said, she has a pod crush on you, Ryan.
Okay, that's very kind of her. So, Kim, that's very sweet of her. Kim, I do appreciate it. It's amazing because Kim didn't even know the Rocky films, and now she's listening to the show, so this is great. Okay, Kim, you're awesome. Thank you for your... And she's a patron as well, so thank you,
Yep.
Kim. You're
Friend of the show.
She's awesome. She's awesome. Okay, you ready? These are hard ones.
Oh, okay.
Question 41. What is Rocky's record going into the fight? Remind me, is it wins, ties, losses? Is that how it works?
I think so.
Okay. So everyone's got those. So wins, ties, losses.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I
is.
think I know the ultimate number. I think I know the total fights is 64
Oh. Can't wait to hear our answers. Okay.
or 46. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, all I remember is that his losses is pretty high. I remember thinking,
Yeah.
like, I don't think he has a very good record. That's
Same.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
True or false? Apollo is throwing money during his entrance to the ring. You know, when he's in that George Washington outfit. Is he throwing money to the audience? True or false? 43. How many rounds does Apollo predict the fight will go? 44. What does Rocky ask Adrian when they finally see each other after the fight? It's adorable.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, so far, not so bad.
Well, the first one's a little hard.
The
But
first
yeah.
one's very hard, but then I think the fifth one's a little bit hard too, because I think we
Okay.
have to almost go. I think we have to go closest to the minute. You'll see what I'm saying here. So, what is the runtime, including the credits? I'll say. So, what is the runtime of Rocky 1? My understanding is that includes the credits roll. So, what is the runtime of the first Rocky film? There you go. So, those are the questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: that the first Rocky film is not the longest film. What's the longest Rocky film? Not Creed films, but longest Rocky?
I think it's 2.
Yeah, it's 2. I don't know if it's a question because he does all the questions per film, unless he asks the question in the second set of trivia that is Rocky 2 the longest running film. Yeah. All right, so there's the trivia. We read our emails. Let's go into the show. We're doing good for time. We just last left off on the episode where, of course, Rocky's punching the meat. He's mad at Paulie for asking him if he's balling Adrian. And now he's gone to Adrian's house to get his breakfast in the morning. She's there to take care of him. I love it. So she is now taking off the bandages for Rocky, and they're going to have a little discussion.
I turned the heat on.
Thanks. You know, your brother's a good man, but he's awful pushy, you know?
You want me to rub you down?
No, I'm just sore, okay? I'll just sit here.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love this. This is very subtle, but it's there. So she's like, do you want me to rub you down? And he's like, no, I just want to sit here. So Rocky's mind right now is he's a little bit still upset. I think he's still kind of upset, obviously, at Paulie and how he's talking about Adrian and everything. And it was just moments ago he's pounding that meat. He's jogged back to the apartment. He's sweaty from that. And she's like, are you sure you don't want me to rub you down? And then she goes in between his legs, up for the kiss. So Adrian, she's definitely boosted. She's ready. She's ready for more.
Adrian wants some pounding too.
There you go.
But why is she wearing this terrible? I know this is like a sign of the times, but that is so not hot, Adrian. Like what?
It's cold
kind
in
of
the
like
apartment.
old lady house coat are you wearing?
I think it's cold in the apartment. I bet you their heat is barely on. He's got his snow cap on, or toque as we call it in Canada. He's just jogged, but he's got like a blanket robe on, and it's probably cold in the house, or maybe they just turn the heat on in the morning type thing. So, but yeah.
It's true, but she's not enticing him very well in that getup.
Hey, come on, no fooling around, all right? I'm tired. Hey, Adrian, I'm serious now. There's no fooling around during training. You understand? I want to stay strong.
No fooling around during training. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay strong. I'm tired. So
She's like, I didn't sign up for this. What are you talking about?
she's like, I waited 30 years to get boosted, and now she can't do nothing no more.
I kind of forgot how many times she tries. Like, she really gives it a good try there.
Yeah, fair play. Me too, there, Adrian. Me too. Back off. Rocky's saying he doesn't. It doesn't matter. He's not consent. He's not consenting right now. He's not consenting.
Although he probably is super tired. I mean, yeah.
But then she goes, "You're not kidding." He goes, "No, I ain't kidding." Yeah, he's not joking.
Ain't kidding.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, why don't you just make the meat, okay?
Are you sure you don't want some of the sweet Adrian butt? I love it.
You know, there's something else I have always hated. Well, just make the meat, okay? Like,
Well, we're getting there.
you.
This is the perfect woman. You know, she wants to have coitus with her man. He gets to turn her down. He's like, now go make me a sandwich, lady. I love it. This is just.
Also, he just turned her down. And so that has, I mean, first of all, like, they're newly in a relationship, so that can't be great for her ego. But now she puts her head on his chest. Like, she hears what he's saying. Like, no, I'm not kidding. I don't want to fool around. Puts her head on his chest, her hand on. He doesn't even, like, put his arm around her, like, to, like, hug her or anything.
Well, he's miffed. He's still raw right now. He's still raw. But we know what's coming. Come on. It's coming.
Yeah, I know.
But right now, he's still raw. And she doesn't know what happened at the meat factory. She has no idea. So he hasn't shared with her what's happened.
Okay, I'll make the meat.
Now she's a little miffed. She is a little bit hurt. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'll make the meat. And then now he realizes the moment. He's like, oh, okay, I might be in a bad headspace, but I've just upset her. And that's not worth it. The music score changed to show that... He's wearing a blanket, that's right. That's how cold it is in the apartment right now.
Good point.
Yo,
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Hey.
Aw,
Yeah, see?
love that.
Yeah. And they're like any other normal
that was-
couple. They have spats or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's like, okay, you know, my interaction with your brother, it's not who you are. It's not our relationship.
I also love how very little needs to be said, that they just understand each other. He says, yo. He doesn't even say, I'm sorry yet. And she says, it's okay. Like, she hears the I'm sorry before he even says it. You hear that sigh at the end. I just feel like that says so much too. Like, wow, all this shit, nothing else matters. We have each other. We're good.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Relief that they're good.
Chuck on Aces says, great point, Katie. Also, they asked, is it even true that fooling around makes you a weak fighter? Well, and then Donald answered that question in the chat. They used to think that, but science has proven that that's not true. So I think at the end of the day, what it probably is the whole idea of focus, but you'd have to talk to your fighter. So if I was a trainer, man, it's like, look, if you want to if having relations with somebody makes you a better fighter, that makes you a better fighter. But at the end of the day, that domestic stuff, then Mickey talks about that later, you know, lay that domestic stuff at home. He's right, if you got to focus. So at the end of the day, look, if you can focus on your training and focus what you have to do, what you do in your off time is what you do in your off time. So they don't police that anymore, because if you police it and the person wants to do it, then you're going to wreck their training regardless, because either way, they're not going to be focused, because now they're just thinking about their girlfriend they can't touch. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, I'm not a trainer, but I would say at the end of the day, hey, as long as my fighter is doing what they're told and giving all they got, what they do in their off time, whether it's playing a video game or, you know, busting Adrian's or whatever it might be, then do what you got to do, you know, but just stay focused on the training.
Agreed. I think there's two things in it, though. Like, when they say no fooling around, I mean, that's like the physical piece of it. Your point is totally valid, Ryan, about like everybody's an individual and do what you need to do.
Right.
But like from a physical place, I sort of always assumed it was like, get all of your frustration out on your opponent. And so you have like built up tension, frustration, or whatever. The domestic stuff is more on the emotional side and your headspace.
So now we're going to the training. So speaking of training, I think this is all the same day. So it's too bad we didn't track this. But I think, boy, if we could go back, how much is happening just in the last 24 hours. I think the fight with Mickey, that was the night before correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole like Gazzo taking the cigarette out of his mouth outside the steak cheese house, the Mickey coming up the stairs and talking, no, don't drink that piss before a fight. Oh boy, no, the news conference was even before that. That's right. So it was news conference on TV. Then it was Gazzo taking cigarette out. Then it was Mickey at his place. This place stinks. That's right, because he told Adrian after that news conference, "I'll see you tomorrow morning." So this is all the same.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, it's like I can't believe how much has happened. If this is all real time, if you had like a clock, you could almost have like a little clock saying, news conference 7 p.m. outside the steakhouse 8 p.m. Mickey's visit 9 p.m. Wake up in the morning 4 a.m. Polly's Meat House visit 6 a.m. Adrian's apartment 7 a.m. Now training here 9 a.m. Yeah, 12 hours. You could almost say between the events on the TV to now. Wow. So now you got, of course, the scene here for our listeners. Rocky's punching the punching bag. Sly, obviously, playing the Rocky character. But you see Sly just nailing a bag. Great punches. And you think, oh, he's just punching the bag. But Sly, he has a love of boxing. So he's acting, for sure, in the sense that he's an actor. And he's not, quote-unquote, a professional boxer. But his form and physique and his speed bag work and everything he does, there's something in him where maybe had he had a different life, let's say he had just trained to always be a fighter at a young age, let's say he'd never be an actor, maybe, I wonder what his luck in the ring would have been at his weight class. It would have been interesting.
Really good point. And I'm sure you and all of our listeners, it makes me think of The Contender, the TV show in the early 2000s. Do you remember that, Ryan?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
The first season was the best, yeah.
Oh, Sergio Mora, I still remember him. I loved him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think he would have been pretty good. And I even feel like Sugar Ray Leonard has said as much.
That's right. I think it was somebody has that like anything, had he decided I'm going to, if acting was just never in his DNA, that he just wanted to be a fighter, the same DNA that Sly is, had he pursued the same training on his body with boxing, he could have been something. He could have been a contender.
Well, he would have been, there's so many weight classes, like it's kind of shocking, but I mean, he would have been something like middleweight or something. Is that what Floyd?
This is where we need Kyle. Kyle would have told us what class he would have been in, what weight class Sly would have been in.
Because he's only like 160 pounds in real life or something, right? Like, or 100, when he gets real cut, he's less than that. I mean, so he's not like a big dude. I mean, he is like, he would never have been a heavybweight, is what I meant.
No, he's not like Mike Tyson or anything.
Yeah.
Louise said probably Sly would have been better than Mickey Rourke. Probably. Yeah. I would say so. That's great. Oh, speaking of fighting, you know who's a trained fighter and winning stuff right now in tournaments?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I'm obsessed with him anyway. And then I'm like, oh, God, you could do no wrong in my eyes, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Would you bet that, man?
I mean, does it even need to be said? What's your guess, Ryan?
I would.
He's super age appropriate
so cool.
for me too.
He's so cool.
He's only like,
he's our age. I think he's older than
he's
you.
Like 45 or something.
I think he's my age. Like I think I might be a year older than him.
Yeah, he's like 45 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's winning like legit.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Was it jiu-jitsu?
Something like that.
Yeah, it has been plastered on my, because I'm old, so I use Facebook. I've seen so many articles about it. And it was like a secret, supposedly.
Yeah, I didn't know this a year ago. Like, this just coming out now, but obviously he's been training. You can't just enter this thing after 1 year of training. So,
yeah.
Good for him. I like it. I like how he's just like, yeah, I'm a famous actor, but you want to fight me? Come fight me. And he's winning.
And has it officially been said that he's the new Bond?
No.
Man? No.
No one's been announced.
No. Okay.
That would be plastered everywhere. There's some great candidates, mind you, but they got to hurry up and make up their mind, or you're going to have another, no offense to Tom, but you're going to have another older Bond. I really kind of hope they cast a 30-year-old, like a 35-year-old, because then you have 10 years with this guy till he hits 50. That's the problem.
So that would be the Henry Cavill. Oof, another one.
Henry is ridiculous. It's too much.
I know. It's not even, I'm like, that's not fair.
The guy, and he's like a nice guy, and he's a nerd, and he's everything. It's ridiculous. He's like a nice guy. He's a video game nerd, humble, good actor, ripped. I know. You can cast him in everything. I'd watch it. He's The Witcher. He's Superman. Sure, make him James Bond too. Sure. Yeah, and he was even kind of a bad guy in that Mission Impossible film. He was amazing at that. Like it's
funny. I don't even watch. Okay, for the ladies listening, here's where I fell in love with Mr. Cavill. He played Henry VIII's right-hand man in The Tudors.
Oh, jeez, there's so much more.
Anybody? When I saw that series, I was like, oh my God, who is that? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ladies, watch The Tudors.
Boys, watch Superman and
Yeah.
Witcher. I think you should watch Witcher. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, I haven't watched it only because that genre is so not at all for me.
You'll love him as the character. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
You'll be surprised. Okay. But yeah, it's still very heavy in that genre. But if you like Henry and you want to see him shirtless and with a sword and mumbling,
Okay.
it's pretty
I
amazing.
will.
Yeah.
Underneath. Now, come on.
Hold it, Rock, will you? You drive me crazy as a sloppy because you're off balance. Let's try this. Now take this string, tie it to both angles, leave about 2 feet of slack.
I ain't never had good footwork.
Never mind footwork. Now you're all balanced out Marcian. Had the same problem, and this string cured it. Is the idea that if you can move and you can hit without breaking the string, you can balance, become a very dangerous person. You follow?
We're looking good, Rock.
Thanks.
Let's go. That's it. Underneath it.
Rock.
Okay, so the person talking, it says the captions say trainer, but it's actually, his name is Mike. It's Mike, played by Jimmy Gambino, who, as we know, famously played another character, Jimmy. His twin brother in Rocky V.
You interviewed him though too, didn't you?
No, we had another podcast did. I never interviewed Jimmy. Jimmy has a weird love-hate relationship with Sly, but Jimmy in real life is a boxing trainer. He works in the industry, so the stuff with him holding the bag, you're doing good, great, Rock, at the balance, and him tying up the string. That's probably all things he's done. He has not great things to say about Sly. But you can find that interview somewhere on the interwebs. The podcast that interviewed Jimmy is now a defunct podcast. They're not active anymore. I think they took their feeds down, but there might be a capture of that interview. It's kind of a bonkers interview because Jimmy just goes off the whole time. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, bonkers is accurate.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind interviewing him, but I would be doing it as a gag because I don't have time for people that are just even a guy that's in a Rocky film. Like, he sounds like a loose cannon, so it's like, ugh. I can't be bothered. Obviously, he's got issues, and so wish him all the best. But I don't think it'd make for a good interview. That's Mike in the movie who said, to Rocky, your stuff's on Skid Row. So now he's helping Rocky train. He famously plays 2 characters in the Rocky franchise: his twin brother Jimmy.
The string thing always, I get the idea, and I like that they brought the Marciano thing back into it, but that has to be incredibly difficult because that was a pretty flimsy, it was like a shoelace or something.
I guess just enough that you feel, well, maybe you could argue you feel the tug, but you don't want to break the string. So it's a combination of just enough that you feel it, but you don't want to break the string. And now we got these 2 girls who have come into the training facility asking for his autograph, which I think is legit. The local... He isn't quite famous yet. It'd be like asking for Tom Hardy's autograph before he becomes a famous actor. You got to walk into his training facility. Hey, I heard you got a new role in the new upcoming films. That you're not famous yet, but you're a local, right? So I want to get your autograph now. Beat the queue now before you enter that ring and become nationwide known.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to comment on the detail. I love the one in the back. They're bundled up.
Yeah,
because it's cold outside. A lesser movie would not have those details. The one girl has a hood on.
I love the design on that hoodie or that jacket there.
Same.
So cool. I think they talk funny with you got to put an autograph.
They are attractive, though.
Yeah, they're cute girls. Yeah.
What?
How about you give us your autograph?
Get out of here! Don't you ever interrupt me while I'm conducting business. Move your little chicken ass.
Oh my God! Can you imagine someone saying that now? It's hilarious.
They run away. To be fair to Mickey, this is a place of business that we're working. Like, it's like someone literally coming to your place of work and just bugging you. Like, they're working right now.
Is there anyone from Philly? Because that accent, can I have your autograph? It seemed pretty overly exaggerated, or is that really the accent?
I suspect those 2 girls were just from the area.
Yeah, good point.
Listen, kid, you lay off that pet shop day. Women weaken legs.
Now, this scene is a little bit interesting because Rocky already told Adrian this concept. There's no fooling around during training. Now, either Mickey has already said this, so he's reiterating it, or is he saying it to Rocky for the first time? Because we as the audience has seen it for the first time.
There was a sign, if I am recalling correctly, in the locker room that says something about, well, in addition to the no kissing, there was a sign that says no kissing, and we had kind of talked about, we made some jokes about it too, but like the women weekend's legs, and I feel like that maybe was shown somewhere else. So I think it's just like a general
Boxers know this.
at this time knowledge about boxing, but it is a little oddly placed that they're having the conversation after Rocky said it to Adrian.
So either Mickey's already said it, or it's already in the boxing lore, and so Mickey's just reiterating and say, "Hey, I know you're dating that pet shop dame. Lay off of her."
Yeah, but I really like this girl, you know?
But let her train you!
Oh, Mickey.
So, let her train you. You know what I would have said if I was Rocky? Can I get some with you then, Mickey?
Oh, eek, eek.
Oof, oof.
Again, I don't understand the stocking cap on the like back of your head. It's
It might be cold in
I
there.
don't-
He's old. I know as I'm getting
But it's
older.
not-
I'm getting cold so much
know.
easier. I get cold so much. Even now, I turn 47 next month, by the way. I find I get
right.
colder easier. I'm like, oh, it's a real thing.
It is, but if he's cold, wouldn't you want to cover more of your head, not just the back of it? It's like oddly placed. Anyway.
Well, he's Jewish, so it's kind of like a two kind of.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'm terrible.
Okay, no more fooling around.
Okay, I hit it.
See, that's what I mean. Okay, no more fooling around. It doesn't make sense. He's already told Adrian he's not fooling around before a fight. Or did he tell it to Adrian just to get out of fooling around in that moment? So he made it up. No more fooling around. He should have said, with the chain of events we just saw, Adrian and I already know this. We're already living this way. We're not doing that.
What I think might have happened is they film out of sequence. And so when they put it back, they kind of forgot and no one caught it.
Women weakening legs, huh?
See, he seems miffed about that. He seems miffed. Yeah, so I think a better editing job would have put that training... or he should have just acknowledged, Adrian and I are already doing that, I hear you. And he could say, oh, man, it's too bad a woman weakened legs. And then he starts punching angrily. Like, he can still show his... It sucks that he can't have coitus with Adrian, but... Look at those kids playing on the playground there behind Rocky Ryan. Playing on the cement there. Have you noticed that before? Those two little kids playing?
I don't think so, because they look very young.
70s, man. I love it. Hey, kids, go out and play. Okay, they're like 2 and 3 years old playing out in the street. I love that.
And Rocky just has like his street clothes, and he's run. It's cute. It's like he doesn't have like athletic wear. He's running home in.
I
It's like
love
his
this.
leather jacket and jeans.
I just love this old. That's what I mean. I always like looking at the background stuff because you have those kids playing. I would assume they were placed there by maybe parents of the crew or something to put their kids there, or were those kids just playing in the street? Because they filmed
never
guerrilla
know.
style. They filmed guerrilla style. Like that woman walking in the background there, she was probably literally just going about her day.
This movie, particularly, they very well could have just been there, and that also going through the scenes especially with the captions. I love your captions. I'm not done with it yet, but a lot of times on Sunday mornings before we record, I listen to your Rambo recordings, and so you guys were talking about the captions as well. But you catch a lot with the captions. You also catch a lot visually, just pausing scene by scene. This truck, that aqua-colored truck.
It's a
in the
Dodge, looks
background.
like.
I love that.
Yo, Rocky.
So those are two girls, apparently. They look like two guys with long hair. Okay, so girl one, girl two. So yo, Rocky. So then, of course, he's getting known in the neighborhood a little bit. So of course they were there for the shoot.
Oh, that's such a... Oh, it's like my favorite scene ever. You guys, also the shot's amazing, but this almost can't contain my excitement about this scene.
Well, it's crazy too. Again, they got the train going by. They timed that. They always time it with the train. They must have had a schedule because Rocky, of course, runs with the train going by. So either the trains run every 5 minutes or they're always catching the trains in these shots. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
Yeah, so Adrian, for our listener, of course, I mean, everyone's listening to this podcast knows the show, but Adrian's wearing her, what do you call
She
it,
looks
jacket?
outstanding. She's got probably like a red wool, longish, knee-length pea coat with shearling or faux fur trim that is cream-colored, and then her hat, she has like a really stylish, I don't know what you call it, but like a stylish hat. And like some bags. It looks like, I don't know if it's like groceries. I can't really tell. And then there's a
probably dog
surprise
food.
that she has.
It's probably dog food in the bag. But now Butkus apparently is hiding behind her somewhere. This is weird. This is the only part I don't understand.
Love it.
So, but where's Butkus in this situation right now? Because Rocky's standing right there. He doesn't see the dog.
No. I mean, we're led to believe he doesn't, that she's somewhat hiding him.
Okay, so let's just see how we can catch where the dog might be until the reveal. Okay, so anyways, Rocky sees Adrian, or you could argue all he has is eyes for Adrian. She could be having a hippopotamus could be behind her, but all Rocky sees is this pretty Adrian. See, look, there's no dog there.
Oh, you know what it is? She has the rope leash. He is actually not on the steps with her. What it looks like is he's behind the steps.
The door? Or
Like,
behind the step? Okay, let's see.
more towards the train, further away from us.
So she's looking great, and of course the line is coming up, looking very sharp. And Louise said that he loves that line, and he used to tell his ex that line all the time, looking very sharp.
Oh, really? Did she get it? That it was...
Well, she broke up with him, so I don't know if it worked.
Oh.
People are saying that Buckus could also be behind the door, but you're right; it might be on the other side of the stairs.
Well, I can see she's got the rope leash, and it looks like it's going over the railing on the far side.
Yeah,
Me.
Yeah, seen. But look at her boots; those are very sexy boots. I love
Yeah,
those
she
70s.
looks... Love it.
Yeah.
In their back.
you
I
look
have some
great.
pairs like that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Terrific. I mean, you could be a heartbreak. You walk down the street breaking hearts the way you're looking. Very sharp.
I got another surprise for you.
What?
Yeah, kind of an interesting little review. It looked like it came from the side of the stairs. She was holding the rope at one moment, then she's not holding it. But that's okay. It's all editing. That's fine. But there,
There's a red ribbon on, you guys. He has a big red ribbon like he's a president. And I'm
That's adorable.
also, butt kiss. I am a big dog person, like a Mastiffy. My dogs are usually, currently have bloodhounds, but I'm usually like Mastiffs and Danes and stuff.
Right.
Butt kiss is a bull mastiff, and I have a nephew, bull mastiff. I could not love this more. And that it's Sly's dog.
Yeah.
The ribbon, everything. I love this so much.
It's great. It's a great story. And rumor has it he sold the dog to Jimmy. At least that's what Jimmy says. That was the
There's been
person.
so many rumors
I know.
about
He
it.
sold to some guy outside a liquor store. He sold to Jimmy, but I'm saying Jimmy in that interview said that the dog was sold to him. That's what Jimmy said. He goes, "Well, if you want the dog back, put me in the movie." See, I've heard all these different stories. Yeah. With Sly, I'm sorry. I feel like we never get.
I feel like he good promoter in that way that
Yeah.
he kind of keeps us, exaggerates stories and stuff to.
It's hard to say what the
He's
truth
adorable.
is. I want the truth, damn it. I feel like Adrian on the beach. I want the truth, Sly. What's the truth about the dog? What's the
Want to
truth?
break me down?
Yeah, I want to break you down. Well, look, I'm afraid for the first time. I'm afraid if people knew the truth, they wouldn't care about the films. Yes, we'll care about the films. We just want to know the truth. All right. So, yeah, people are even saying here, I have a hard time, but this is from Shotgun Aces. They're saying I have a hard time believing the pre-Rocky struggle. He was already married to Sasha Jacques years before. I know. He was, $70 to his name, $3 script, sold his dog. I mean, but like I said, the pre-Rocky story, true or false, would make for a great biopic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've always wondered the same. The good point about, I was like, well, that story doesn't line up with him being married and having a family, although they could have been poor.
He didn't have kids yet because his first kid was shown in Rocky 2. That was his son, Sergey.
That's right. Well, either way, I mean, he was married to her, and so there's probably grains and nuggets of truth in it. It's just
He was
exaggerated.
poor. He was poor, and he wrote Rocky, and I would assume nobody wanted him to star in it at first, apparently, because, he wasn't Ryan O'Neal or Robert Redford or whoever that, James Caan, all these other names, right? So he's reunited with Buckus.
Hey, Buckus, come here, kid. Come here.
To keep you company when you run.
Come on in and meet.
Look at her there, though. Look at her there. So first the dog, Buckus. Look at her right here. That's an amazing shot. Oh, man, she looks great there.
Doesn't she? She really does. I'm sorry, I'm still giddy over Buckus, and I mean it does work really well that it's his dog because there's clearly a bond there, and he's making the barking noise, so Buckus does, and he is so excitedly hopping around. However, she says to keep you company when you run. Right. I don't know if anybody knows much about a bull mastiff, but they are so not going to keep you company while you run for more than 2 blocks.
Oh, they don't like to run?
They're not runners.
Okay, fair
Definitely
enough.
not runners.
Yeah, my dog is. My dog loves running with me. I take her for 4-mile runs, and it gets her worn out, but she loves it.
I'm sure she does. Buckus could not make it 4 miles.
Right.
He
different
couldn't
builds.
make
Different
it
builds.
one.
And,
Yeah.
She's a small mid. I don't know what to call her. Yeah. She's a
Yeah.
cruiserweight. She's a cruiserweight.
I love that.
All right, so yeah, there she is. There, Rocky's right. I always knew you was pretty.
And see, we've talked about before. I think I was right. The owner never came back. He asks.
Oh, I thought you know about
Like
something
that
else. Sorry.
explains why there's an adult dog in a cage in the pet store.
Yeah, the owner
right?
never came back. That's right. So lost and found. It was a temporary holding. Yeah.
Family. The owner never come back.
Boys, it's yours if you want it.
Boy, do I want him? Come here. What's he eat, this dog? What's he eat?
He eats little turtles.
Yo, my kid.
So now she gets to say he eats little turtles, and that don't bother Rocky none. But Mickey says you make turtle soup out of these guys. He didn't like that.
That's true, but Rocky knows that Adrian's like just being cute.
He's so excited to have the dog.
Yeah.
He's just so excited.
Yeah.
So now we see the bull mastiff running. Buck is running with Rocky for these 2 blocks right now.
I was just trying to notice if Butkus has his Eagles shirt on yet.
Oh, yeah. Not in this scene, I don't think. But I love how he runs by the news van. So the news van's parked outside of Shamrock Meats. Again, we're led to assume this is now the next day again. So you could argue this is the following morning after the first meet. Now he's in a good mood. He's got the dog to run. So this is the next day. Now he's running in the morning again. He's already done the steps, let's say. All those things have been repeated. Look at, he's already full of spit and vinegar. He's feeling good about himself. He's got a dog. It's the next morning. During these last 24 hours, Paulie, of course, has made some arrangements. He's made some calls. And then you see this news van outside. I love how the production company is so poor regarding this film. They literally created a sign, just slapped it on someone's van. Like, it's just, this is not a company van. This can't be the actual news van. This literally is, hey, guys, we need to slap this on a... It's just so poor. It's just...
However, they did at least put antennas on top.
Oh, sure. But I love how it looks like a news van, but I highly doubt this would have been an official news van even back
Agreed.
then.
What's that, Buck?
Rocky said, what's that, Buckus?
Huh? Whose truck is this? Come on.
Whose truck? It's a van. Also, I never noticed that phone book.
Who's truck? It's a van. Rocky, it's a van. And number one, it tells you whose it is. There's a big sign on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
That might be the clue. It might be the news van. I don't know.
Next to the van, before he walks in, there's a phone booth.
Oh, yeah. The old phone booth there, yeah. Now, look at this. There's a sign on the door that says, no help wanted. We are not hiring anyone. And there's some lettering right there. It says, no hey trab show?
I can only read the no. I can't make out.
It says
the,
hey. It looks like
handwritten-
an H-A-Y and then T-R-A-B-A Trabasso? That's what it looks like it says. So I don't know if anyone wants to Google what Trabasso might be.
Oh, it's probably no. Maybe it's in Spanish. No trabajo. It's no something, no soy or no something trabajo, which is Spanish.
Probably like, hey, we're not even
No
hiring
help
you.
wanted.
We're
Like,
not
yeah.
we're not hiring you or Mexicans. Like we really don't want help.
Yeah, because trabajar is to work.
Louise says
So-
you're right.
Yeah.
Good job. There you go. See, there's your Spanish coming in. So Louis, our resident Spanish speaker on our Discord, he said, spot on, Katie.
Ah, yay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luis.
Très bien. Okay. I don't know about the States, but here in Canada, it is a hiring market. Like, everywhere needs help.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can't imagine there's a meat factory in the States anywhere that won't take extra hands. Please, we need these laborers. I feel like that's an issue everywhere, especially these labor type jobs. I can't imagine they're full.
Also, like service industry. I'm getting something from Kyle.
Okay.
I feel like he would say at this time, like in the 70s, it was a recession. It was economically downtrodden, and so there weren't any jobs, and so they don't want people bothering them. So they're just. I've never seen that before. You see a lot of help wanted signs. I've never seen a no help wanted sign.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
But I guess at this time, they're like, listen, don't even try.
Don't
We
even bother.
don't have a job for you.
One call from me, you're a celebrity.
You need exposure.
Okay.
You can tell he's drunk already.
7 in the morning, he's drunk. So Paulie's all giddy and everything. He basically says, one call from me, you're a celebrity. At this time, we don't know as a viewer, but we know right there's news. Rocky's gone in there to get his meat, but now he's been blindsided with, I'm going to be on TV very shortly. And then Paulie's like, well, you need exposure. And as he says, you got, and then he pauses, need exposure. And he leans in and says it to Rocky's face. And Rocky's like, don't breathe on me, because he smells like alcohol.
couple of comments on this. It is hilarious. Ollie's not wrong. You shouldn't blindside someone like that. And B, where's Butkus now? Where did he put Butkus in that phone booth?
He's inside the meat factory going nuts.
No, you can't have a dog in there.
Oh yeah, this is the 70s. They totally had health code going on. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, that was a continuity issue. Like, where's Butkus all of a sudden?
So yeah, don't breathe on me. And then Paulie goes on, that's the big time. So he's really trying to sell, like, you're going to be, you want to get on TV.
Come on, don't breathe on me, Paul.
That's the big time.
I just want to...
Don't I know about these?
You don't know about nothing. What do these guys want?
So I love, don't I know about these things? I love how Paulie always says he knows about these things. And Rocky, I love Rocky calls it, you don't know about, you don't know nothing. You're wrong, Paulie. You don't actually know as much as you think you know.
As he takes another swig from his bourbon bottle.
Was it Four Roses again? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then Rocky goes, what do they want from me?
From me,
So watch your tray. Boom.
Hey, come what is the matter with you, Paul? It's supposed to be private. Hey,
I'm doing you a favor.
you ain't doing me no favors. You're embarrassing me in front of everybody. You can make me look bad in front of your sister.
Okay. Rocky's quote-unquote angry, but it's that fake anger. So like anger amongst long-standing friends. Like he's yelling at Paulie, and Paulie like shoos him with his hands. You see that? You're making me look bad in front of your sister, and he does this hand movement like shoo, yeah. I've heard it all before. This shows you a longer standing history these two have than even the movie indicates up to this point. That they're able to speak this way, but there's no hard feelings in this moment. Like Paulie's all giddy and happy, forgotten bygones about yesterday, and Paulie literally saw the pounding of the meat. Says, "I got an opportunity here," you know.
All of those things are right, but Rocky is pissed. If I were Rocky, I would have been fine, but give me a heads up.
He's mad in the sense like but he's not mad the way he was yesterday. Mad with the meat,
right.
Not that kind of anger. It's, dude, you're bugging me, man. But the way that Paulie can like, yeah, sure. It's just falling off Paulie.
See the cigar? Or stick it in your ear. Now, don't do these things to me. You should have called me up or something. Leave a message. Don't do that.
Leave a message? How? There's no answer machine. There's no
telephone. He doesn't have a phone.
I know.
I guess at the gym. Maybe at the gym he means.
Yeah.
At the gym because that's where he is most of the time. But yeah.
My sister really likes you.
Paulie's like ingratiating himself a little bit here, like, you're mad at me, but guess what? My sister really likes you. This is high school. Dude, I'm banging your sister. I know. I think I know she likes me.
He's trying to funnily de-escalate the situation, and it works, we see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you one of these days, I swear to God. Baby!
Really is great. I gotta say, honestly, I don't think I can think of other movies where you see the relationship. They do such a good job of portraying that real life. We're basically brothers. All of the things you said, it's even hard for me to concisely put words around it, but they show it on screen. It's not like in a slick way. Can anybody think of another movie where that's shown or where we get that? That's why it's such a beloved. These characters are so beloved. This movie's so beloved because, I don't know, they just do such a good job of selling it.
They do a great job of creating this relationship between these two. It's complicated, but it's not confusing. Mm-hmm. All right, so now Paulie announces to the newscaster, here he is, the next heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Balboa. And this is great. Now the newscaster and her cameraman are there. Interesting note, this newscaster, I forget her name. I'd have to, a better podcaster would have to,
She'll say it here. Donna Lewis.
I think that's her name. I think that's her name in real life because she's a real newscaster from Philly.
Well, you said it in your previous podcast in Going the Distance.
I don't know if everyone listens to that first one, but yeah, she's a real. I think she's still alive, and I've tried to reach out to her, but she's. Anyways, yeah. So she's the real deal. So again, they got a local. Hey, do you want to be in a movie and be? And you could tell that she's good at it. She just plays a newscaster. Mm-hmm. And she just knocks out the park. So she's not, what I'm getting at, she's not an actress. She's just a newscaster in the film, and she knocks out the park as a newscaster.
Next heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Balboa!
Right there. Rocky Balboa. Listen, we want to get a brief interview in with you. It won't take long.
What about me?
What about you?
I'm in charge of the meat.
Fine. Would you stand behind it, please?
That's
what about you?
Again, that's amazing writing by Sly. So you got Paulie's like, I set this up because back then it was really a big deal to be on TV. Of course, nowadays everyone has a video camera and Instagram. Being on us on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Like you're on, people can watch you all the time now. But back then, to be on TV was a big deal. And so Paulie's like, "Can I be on TV too?" And he's like, "What about me?" And She's like, what about you? And then he goes, I'm in charge of the meat. And she's like, great, stand behind it. And that's a This is a fantastic banter / like a burn, and Sly wrote that stuff. I love that. It's great.
Yeah.
And then she tells Rocky, settle yourself down, relax. She can tell right away that he's nervous.
Listen, just settle yourself down. Just relax. What we're going to do is just ask you a few questions, Rocky. Just a few questions about your unique training method. Talk to the folks at home. They really want to know, how you got into this. I mean, this isn't an everyday thing. Jimmy, you guys ready? Let's roll it. Rocky, why don't you turn right around here?
Just don't take no cheap shots,
See, that's a very interesting callback, right? At the news conference, you got cheap shots. And this is why Rocky's a little bit upset. The last time he was in front of the cameras, how did you get your name? And yeah, sure, you made that up. And all this, remember those newscasters they were kind of rude to him. And she hears the consummate professional, which I think he appreciates.
Didn't bother me none.
Yeah, it did. And he's like, just don't take no cheap shots. She goes, no, I won't do that. Just relax. So I believe her. And I think Rocky does too.
No, I won't do that. Just relax, Rocky. Today we're here with heavyweight challenger Rocky Balboa. The reason we're standing in this
the meat guy's sticking his face in.
The meat guy's sticking his face in. I love it.
She looks great too. Like her outfit, and it's probably the most expensive outfit Rocky's ever seen.
Oh yeah. It's.
Let's try it again, Rocky. Today we're here with heavyweight challenger Rocky Balboa.
So this is a great little, this is filmed, we're watching the live filming, but I suspect what we're seeing on screen now with Apollo and his people, this wasn't live. This was probably later that day, or this is now the evening news, but it's a great little transition between the two of the live viewing, and I just don't think they did live broadcasting like this back. I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not, but I had kind of forgotten about it, so I'm glad that you pointed it out. How excellent it was to portray. There's so many examples
there's
like
too
that
much.
in this movie.
I know. And we're even breaking it down, but there's too much. There's things that we missed, even with our breakdowns. There's so much going on. Yeah.
The reason we're standing in this refrigerated box is that Mr. Balboa has an unusual method of training. And in a moment, he's going to demonstrate that for the viewing audience at home.
So great little build up. So hey, we're here with heavyweight local challenger to, of course, fighting the Muhammad Ali of our universe. This is a very unique training method, and it is very unique. People are watching on TV like, what's he doing? At this point, people are like, why are they in this freezer? Nobody probably could imagine what he's about to do. Tony's watching on the TV screen. You can hear Apollo chatting in the background. So Apollo is in the background talking with his people, business stuff. It's just kind of business chat. Very casual, unconcerned with everything around him. And Tony's watching the challenger because that's his job as a trainer to protect his champion. I love how Tony is sitting there with his shirt undone. Was that a director's choice or was that a Tony choice?
I don't know. I mean, how old do you think he is? Or I think we maybe have talked about it. He's probably older than he looked. He's probably 50 maybe.
In 2006, Rocky Balboa, he was in that. And he looked like a fairly older man. So let's say he was 80. In 2006, so in 76 was 30. So he might be 45 to 55 here. So that's fair.
I mean, so maybe it was a Tony choice. It isn't just for vanity's sake. So he has a dress shirt that's just unbuttoned. So he maybe had it. It's evening. They're watching. Here's what I think. They're watching the evening news.
Sure.
The work day's over. He's getting comfortable, but he's
still,
listen.
Come on. You're inside of an office.
Sex machine, and I still got a bod, and I kind of want to show it off. And
it is kind of an interesting choice because if I was with a bunch of, I don't know, my cohorts, co-workers, whatever, you still at the end of the day, I don't know if I just unbutton my shirt inside it. You're not outside at the beach or the pool. You're inside of an office. It's nah, I got to show off this sexy chest and stomach. And yet he was a boxer in real life too. Tony was a legit athlete as well. Yeah. Like Tony Burton himself.
Tony Burton.
Yeah.
Was he also in prison in a prior life?
How dare you? How dare you?
I know. Or there's someone else, I feel like, that was incarcerated at some point in their life.
Tony may have been, but I know Tony was in a prison film that Kyle keeps bringing up. Yeah.
Got it. The icebox is a weird choice of word. I know it's an old-timey word, but that would be like your home freezer. They're not in an icebox.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have called it. Just meat house. Or
meat house.
It's assumed that the meat is not on your counter. It's in a place that has to stay cold. That's just how meat is.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was strange that she says that.
All right, so the question is asked that Tony is watching and hearing. But first, Rocky, how did you come to train in icebox?
But first, Rocky, how did you come to train in an icebox?
My friend, the guy over there, he let me in one day and I hit the beef here and I kind of liked it. And since I've become a challenger, the owner don't mind neither that I come in.
Is this a common training method? I mean, do other fighters pound raw meat?
No, I think I invented it.
Invented.
I invented it. I invented my nickname, and I invented the pounding of raw meat. Now, he does say here that since I've become a challenger, the owner don't mind that I come in here. Now, maybe more than 24 hours has passed since the last events, because he is running faster. He does seem to be running with more in shape, so time probably has passed. So I would assume more than 24 hours passed, because there's been an agreement that Rocky's already aware of, that he actually... So he's made this a daily thing. So this wasn't just him getting mad at Paulie. Now he comes in here all the time and tenderizes the meat for the owner. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so let's say a week or two has passed at this point. All right, so she's like, give us a demonstration. And then you hear Paul in the background say, confirm the reservation. So he's probably making dinner reservations. Just chill, relax, yeah.
Would you give us a demonstration?
Confirm the reservation for our people at ringside. And be sure to fly my barber to Philly.
Okay, there you go. Confirm the reservation for my people at ringside, and then fly my barber to Philly.
So these are the things Apollo's worried about.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to look good. He does his hair with his gloves. Remember he does that with his... He's very concerned about his hair. Fly my barber to Philly. I love it. That's fun for the barber, but I assume the barber has other clients, so Paul better pay for all those missed appointments, too.
He can afford it.
Yeah. So Rocky just starts punching.
How much is being channeled into West Coast closed circuit advertising?
300,000.
450. And send the mayor's wife 200 roses from me and make sure we get a picture of it for all the newspapers.
Do you want to run the 15 radio spots in the Midwest? I think you could spend your money better in Canadian publicity.
By the way, Apollo, I've got a couple of friends up in Toronto who'd probably be able to get you a pretty good tax break.
George, I like your friends.
So they're talking about the money, these deals, radio spots, Canadian tax breaks. They're, closed circuit. Now, they're doing a lot of this stuff. I don't know enough about this industry or any industry really, but it seems like they're doing a lot of work that they shouldn't have to do. So why is the fighter, the champion, in charge of all the TV deals and the marketing? I would assume that the people that are let's say if I'm fighting in Vegas at the whatever, why am I doing my own marketing? At some point, when you're the world champion, you would think everyone would just fall around you. Like, you're like, okay, I'm going to fight this venue, make it work, done. You wouldn't be the boxer running this marketing part of it.
You're right, because Juergens was there with his typical red carnation in his shirt. So they're still working out of Juergens' office, it seems. Apollo's people have taken over Juergens' office, and so they're sort of teaming up. Apollo's people, Juergens, it seems Apollo is very hands-on. He wants this to be, he's being a little bit of a control freak, because they are saying, he asks questions about, what do you have planned for this? So he's like tasked them with the plan, and now he's sort of signing off on it or making changes to it based on what he wants.
Sure.
But I don't think this would ordinarily happen.
No.
But it just seems like he very much wants to have a lot of control over it.
Like, I know the film is low budget, but Apollo's character shouldn't be, is what I'm getting at. He shouldn't even be bothered with this stuff.
He has opinions about it. He says, no, do this instead. That's what I want.
We have some insight here from our Discord chat. That's why I love having people join our Discord. From Luis, he says here, Tony wasn't modest. He was shirtless and glistening from sweat during the infamous Rocky III training scenes. Very true. He loves the show. Your assumption was right about Tony. He was in prison for 3 years for robbery.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was from Shotgun Aces. Louise says he was born in 1937, so he was around 38 during the filming of this film.
That tracks. Okay.
Tyre David, who played Juergens, he died 1 year after Rocky, the first film.
No way.
Yeah. Well, he left on a high note. You just witnessed the greatest man of sports history, entertainment. Yeah, I love that. So now Rocky's getting to the meat. Tony's like, oh, okay. Okay, so Tony's watching the news footage. What he's seen and what we're seeing as movie audience, we're actually seeing the movie edit. What we're seeing is a movie edit. It doesn't make sense. So we're watching this, but if you saw this on the news, it's like, how come they have this like multi-camera editing job? It should have just been one shot with one camera with Rocky punching the meat. Funny how they didn't think about that even back then, but I think if it was shown today, they would film it like that. Like, this is, it's a single camera action news piece, but they got cuts and edits here that don't make sense when it's a news conference or a news piece.
Good point.
Hey, champ. Gotta come look at this boy you're gonna fight on TV. Looks like he means business.
Yeah, I mean business too. Hey, Shirley, we got any more coffee out there?
So, yeah, of course, I mean business too, but Tony's like, oh, man, I get he's the champion, but he's watching this guy pounding raw frozen meat, and it's like at the very least he's seeing, okay, this challenger looks like he has strong hitting power, and he's taking this fight seriously, and my guy isn't. Now, it doesn't mean that he's a contender, but my guy's not taking this fight seriously, and this guy is. So we kind of have to meet halfway here. And then he asks for more coffee, which is serious. So he's being, to be fair to Apollo, he is serious. He's asking for more coffee. So Shirley goes, certainly, Mr. Creed, I'll get some right away.
And Shirley is, again, Jurgen's secretary.
Yeah, I know.
Not Apollo's. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Creed. I'll get you some right away.
After the fight, I may just retire and run for him.
After the fight, I may retire and run for emperor. Did you ever catch that before?
No, an emperor. What a specific choice, right?
Yeah, emperor. Yeah, he loves those regal, big things, He just loves the pomp and circumstance.
The arena is on the program session, and Gross Run with the arena is going to include the relationship.
See, all those edits don't make sense from the news piece, right? Like,
Diana Lewis in the meat house with Southpaw Rocky Balboa.
so they actually called it a meat house. She called it their meat house.
Yeah, she did. You're right.
And
It was Diana. I thought it was
Diana Lewis. And great job on her part, how she ends the piece. He's finished boxing. She holds up his bloody hands. Rocky doesn't say anything. And she just ends it with, what else do I have to say? You saw it. You saw the damage. Diana Lewis in the meat house with Rocky Balboa. It's a perfect ending to the news piece. She's a consummate professional. She knows how to end a news piece.
It is, and she's not afraid to get bloody. If I were her
Right.
wearing that coat, I'd be like, get away from me with your nastiness over here.
True. Yeah, good point. That's very close to her white and pink jacket. Okay. Perfect. All right, that's an amazing sequence. Kyle, you missed out, my friend. Ready? Answers? You ready,
Yeah.
Kyle? Okay. Here's the answers to our Rocky trivia. Okay, right here. What is Rocky's record going into the fight? What did you say?
I know I'm wrong. I said 42-20.
42-20. That's pretty good.
What'd you put?
54-8-16.
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of fights. But I remember...
That's not bad. 54 seems like high for wins, but at any rate, yeah.
Okay, and then...
What did Donald say?
What did Donald say? He said, wins, ties, losses, no idea. 37 fights with just over half losses. Okay, well, the answer is, you ready? Drum roll. Okay, he didn't do ties. 44-20.
I said 42-20. I was very close.
I'm going to give it to you. That's near bang on. Good for you.
And I had 2 ties, so if I add the 2 ties to the 42,
Sure,
that would be
that's
44.
bang on. I was way off. I can't allow my answer does not. Yours is almost bang on with losses, 2 away from wins. I'll allow it. Judges will allow it. What do you think, Donald?
Cool.
We'll give it to her? Good job, Kate. Wow. You needed that point, too, I think. That was a good...
I did. I always need the point.
No, I don't think you're doing that bad. Come on. True or false, Apollo is throwing money during his entrance to the ring? True. I think it was silver dollars, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of a cheapskate move.
Oh, really? Was back then $1? It's like throwing $5 at people now. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
How many rounds does Apollo predict the fight will go? Doesn't he say Creed in 3? Creed in 3?
I thought it was 3 as well.
Yep. 3 rounds, yeah.
3 rounds. Donald, I assume, got that correct also.
He said that Apollo did not throw money in the ring.
Oh, Donald, I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, no, we're not disappointed in him. Kyle is.
Kyle is, yes. He got 3 rounds right,
yes,
right?
you got that, yes, yeah.
Right.
What does Rocky ask Adrian when they finally see each other after the fight in the ring?
Where's your hat?
Where's your hat? And Katie, apropos, you're wearing that hat today. You're wearing the hat. Katie, where's your hat?
Well, that was a pretty awesome hat that she had on, but yeah. Yeah, I'm wearing a hat.
And lastly, what is the runtime of Rocky, the first Rocky film? Now, I'm going to say 2 hours, 1 minute. That's my answer.
That's what I put. I said 121 minutes is what I put as well.
2 hours, 1 minute?
Yeah.
We both said, wow. We both said the same guess. What did you say, Donald? He said 2 hours-ish. So, okay, we'll allow it. Let's see the answer. 1 hour, 59. So I think we should all get that. I think 2 minutes off on both sides is...
Yeah, okay.
Because if we said like an hour and 40 or hour 45...
So he was... it was 1 minute shy of 2 hours. Okay, all right.
Okay,
so
there you go.
So I got all 5. Ryan,
Nice.
you got
4.
4, and
Kyle
Donald
got
/ Kyle got
3 out of 5. There you go.
3. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it. That's everything. Thank you so much to everyone who joined our Discord. Again, check out the show notes, Discord. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. If you want to support the show via Patreon, I'm going to give you a heads up now. Yes, there will be coming Patreon exclusive material is coming. It's going to be Ryan and Tulsa King watch-along. So this will be November, but I'm going to do a reaction, I guess you could say, and review to the Tulsa King. I don't have enough time to do like proper reviews with every episode, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the show. You get to watch it with me first time or second time on Patreon, and the video will be there for you to click on anytime you want. And for as low as $1 a month, you support the show, and you get to watch it with me and hear my thoughts on the Tulsa King. If you want to actually see my reactions and discussion points to the scenes as they happen, join Patreon. And that will be Patreon only.
Very exciting.
That's one of the first teases. So there will be some exclusive Patreon only content. So it's two things. You're going to see some content that you won't get on the free feeds, and you'll be supporting the show a little bit, and I appreciate that. Oh, I think that's everything. I think I got everything, but there you go. A lot. So just, again, check out the show notes. The links will be provided in every show note. And when I say show note, you know what I mean by that, right? When I say show notes, does people understand that, I guess? It's like the show description.
It's funny, I've heard another podcast explain it because they have gotten feedback that not everyone necessarily does know. I think if you're really into podcasts, you for sure know. But maybe if you're just getting into podcasts,
I don't know how to describe it. So
it's just the details.
The details
of the
episodes on iTunes, Spotify. It doesn't matter. There'll be link so when you in this episode, Ryan and Katie talk about Rocky, blah blah blah, and then underneath that little description will be links. It'll say Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, voice message. So all those, and then you just click on those links, and it will take you to those. Obviously, that's the easiest way I can describe it. So yeah, check us out on YouTube as well if you want to see our faces, and of course Katie. Everyone's there to see Katie. She looks lovely as always. Okay, well,